We were not physical enough, obviously not tied together well enough defensively, and we've got to do better.
Do you feel like there was an adjustment made at halftime that didn't happen, or was it tried to just be better at what you're doing and it didn't work out?
They were more physical and played with more attitude from the very beginning of the game, and it carried through. We had some runs. I mean, we got it to 3 in the second quarter, and then they made a quick 4-0 run. We had to call timeout, and then, then the thing was a double-figure difference again. And so, give them credit. They played extremely well. And, it's a cup game, so they're running up the score at the end, and I get all that. We were doing the same thing last year. And so it's no fun, but, give them credit for how they played, and we simply needed to play a lot better.
You talked a lot about this in pregame and also the last time you guys played them, but just how much more difficult of a cover are they right now, just because of some of the young guys growing up and the veteran guys that they've stepped up and made some shots for them?
For them?
Yes, for them. What's made them just, how much more of a difficult cover are they now because of just all the more weapons that they have?
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten significantly better. I mean, Hardaway's a high-level veteran shooter. Beasley's playing really well. Harris has been a starter in this league for 15 years. I mean, so, they added some real veteran punch. And, Ivy's, taking steps, and Duran's getting better, and stuff. But, look, they played well, and we did not.
You've had to put Jarris, obviously, in some tough situations. I know he was obviously guarding Cade for part of that. He got some turnovers in this one, or created some turnovers in this one. What have you not liked about some of what he's done in
well,
60 minutes?
I liked him a lot in this game tonight. He went in there and played very decisively at the very beginning. Nobody's going to make no mistakes in an NBA game. But he decisively stepped into shots. He was physical. You said it. He was great on the ball on a few possessions where he's playing against one of the best players in the league. I mean, Cade Cunningham's playing at a high level right now. And so, look, right now is a time for guys like Jarris and guys like Ben and guys like Q to experience what it's like to have this kind of responsibility and to respond as best they can. And they're learning a lot, and they're doing good things. But it's it's not an easy thing. It's not a particularly fair position to put them in. But they're learning a lot, and they'll be better for it.
Detroit defensively really made it tough for you guys to score. What were you seeing from Detroit's defense, whether it was the Pacers getting late shots in the shot clock or just getting up threes? It was like they were really suffocating the defensively. What were you seeing from Indiana offensively trying to score against Detroit's defense?
Indiana? What did I see against Indiana?
What are you seeing from our team offensively trying to score against their defense? What were they doing defensively?
Yeah, they were physical. There weren't a lot of whistles. I mean, there's just the game was one of the more physical games I've seen in many years, I mean, including playoffs. And so, but they were consistently calling it that way. And so, you got to adjust. I mean, you can't go into a crowd and not get a call and be bitching every time down. I mean, because it's being called the same way or being not called the same way at both ends. So, these are adjustments that have been significant adjustments for all teams in the league this year, us as well.
Just looked a step slow. I don't know what it was, but that's what it looked like to me. And just on both ends of the ball, they were more physical than us, and that's a tough pill to swallow.
Why in your eyes has the bench maybe not been quite as effective as last season, especially from a scoring perspective?
Well, I mean, I feel like injuries play a part in it. There's no excuse for both the starters and the bench, but we just have to adjust, putting new guys in there and figuring out chemistry and stuff like that. Like I said, it's no excuse. We just need to kind of figure it out no matter who's in the lineup.
A game like this where you do feel like you're a step slow defensively, what can you do to get out of that in a game if that's even possible, if it's more pace on offense and adjustment, something like that?
Just play harder. there's really no recipe to success. I mean, I feel like if you just play extremely hard, and at times we did, but not the full 48, and an improved team like Detroit will make you pay for it.
Obviously, Ted, you just said there's no excuse and you just have to adjust. But I mean, what has the overall adjustment been like to get used to playing without guys like Ben Aaron and Andrew, and having to deal with just sort of constant shifts in movement and not necessarily having full second unit out there? What's just the challenge been like over the last few weeks?
It's you're navigating through a ton of things, and just continuing to figure out where guys want the ball and their best skill defensively. I know we're however many games in, but when guys are in the lineup, out the lineup, it's still challenging to find that chemistry if they're not in it all the time. So we just have to continue to find ways to make guys better. That's mine and Ty's job, and go from there.
How have you seen Jarris navigate some of this? He's obviously had some tough stretches, but it seemed like he made some progress tonight. You had some periods where he was on Cade, he was able to get some cause some turnovers, stuff like that. What have been, I guess, the individual challenges for him, and how have you seen him sort of rise up and kind of improve a little bit, especially in this game?
Yeah, I think this is his first real year. His role was kind of in and out last year. Didn't really have an established one. But this year, he has more of an established role, and I thought tonight was his best game of the season. His ability to defend, he has the capabilities of being an elite defender in this league, and he proved that tonight. And we've seen that from him. So it's about stringing, multiple games like that together, and he will. And with him, it's tough, not having an established role and then coming in and trying to find your way and not overdo things. And I think he's done a great job of that, of coming in and finding out how we play in the second unit and finding his way. I think today he took a really big step on both ends.
Yeah, I mean, they did a great job keeping us in rotation. They had a lot of different guys step up and make shots early, and I think that caused indecision with our rotations because how many shots they were making. And kudos to them. They played a hell of a game from start to finish, and we just got to be better on that end of the ball.
You're overhelping, or the communication's not there. Maybe not you specifically, but in general as a team. How do you get out of that? Is it just reminders, communication? What does that take?
I mean, I think there's a lot of pieces. I think specifically when we're talking like pick and roll defense, like when you gotta. It starts with ball pressure. We gotta be up on the ball. Our bigs gotta be up at the level. We gotta have a low man. We gotta have a rotation on the backside, and they did a great job of coming off ball screens, quickly hitting the roller or the skip, and we just didn't rotate quick enough. And just again, kudos to them. They made a lot of shots tonight, and we just weren't good enough on that end of the ball to win the game.
Collectively, it felt like some frustration tonight with officiating from the whole team. Does that take you out of your game at all? In and out? Can you shrug that off pretty easily?
No. I mean, I think like we have the best refs in the world. It's not an easy job by any means, There's games where, you feel like, they probably feel like the refs didn't do good for them either. That's just how you feel. It's all part of competition. So, obviously, yeah, there were some calls that we felt like could have went our way. They probably feel the same way. It's part of basketball. You just got to, take it however it is and move on.
Might have asked you this question before, but what's just been the challenge been like to get everybody tied together defensively with what you guys have been missing on that end?
Yeah, we could do a much better job of sticking together, and I think that winning however 3 in a row and showing some growth on that end of the ball. It's not a linear process. It's up and down games, and tonight was just a down game for us on that end of the ball. I did feel like they made a lot of shots today. So again, kudos to them. They're playing hard, young, hungry team, and we just didn't match their energy. I think everybody knows that JB Bickerstaff team is going to play hard as hell, and they're going to be into you defensively and offensively, be attacking the paint relentlessly. So we just didn't match the energy for the full 48, and we got to be better on that end of the ball.
I guess how drastically different of a cover are they than they were a year ago? Just because of the energy and the veteran pieces they've added.
Well, I mean, there's good players over there. You know, obviously last year was a tough year for them, but they're a young group. And again, I think Coach Bickerstaff is an elite coach. And I think everybody knew when he got this job that how hard these guys were going to be playing, because they already do play hard, you know, before that. So, you know, I think you just got to match their energy. You know, they're young, hungry. They want to win. Trust me, we know what it's like to be in their situation right now as far as the in-season tournament, where you haven't had, you know, a lot of guys without playoff experience. So you want to get into the, you know, the quarterfinals and play in those. So we understand. We know what it's been like, and you know, they're playing a good brand of basketball. They're playing together. They're connected. They're playing hard. So again, kudos to them. They just had a better performance than us for 48 minutes.
Jairus is obviously one guy who's had to get thrown in the fire on this, and he's had some tough nights. But obviously tonight, I think he had 5 steals. You saw some good growth there. I mean, just what impressed you about him tonight? You talked about just things being not necessarily linear. What's the challenge for him been like, and what do you think? How important was it to see him make some strides there tonight?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the best teacher for him is just going to be experience. You know, last year he didn't get to play a ton, but he did get a lot of experience playing more with the G League, and now he's, you know, due to, you know, some injuries and just how our rotations are shaking out right now, he's getting more experience here, you know, in the league and having to guard better players. I thought he did a great job on K today, and that's not an easy cover by any means. You know, I think he had a really good game today. I was really impressed and proud of his effort. And, I think for him, what he can be defensively, he's only scratching the surface, and offensively, it will take care of itself. You know, so again, it's not a linear growth by any means. There's going to be good games and going to be bad games, but I think he's done a great job of taking it in stride and you know, being prepared for whatever's thrown at him.